Hi, Robin here. Welcome to Robin's Drones. I've gone and bought a new drone. If you've not seen any of my videos before, you know I've got a Mini 2SE and a Potensic Atom, but I've gone for a different style of drone now, so let's find out what I've picked. So I've gone for the Dji Avata. I'm going to get into FPV, although this isn't a true FPV drone, but it's pretty good. I got an absolute bargain at this. So you see this label on here, RB, that's a refurbished unit from DJI Direct, because you get the goggles Integra and the little motion controller. Also, I've gone ahead and bought the DJI FPV controller to fly in full manual mode, because you need this to fly in full manual mode. And I've also bought the Fly More kit that comes with 2 extra batteries and a charging block, which allows you to charge the full 65 watts. Now, before I get ahead with the unboxing, I'm going to show you a couple of videos I've had with this. I've done 3 flights in total, so let's see them now. Now here I am flying indoors, looking as nervous as hell. Hopefully I won't crash. Spoiler alert, I do crash. So yeah, I'm just going through my living room right now. Hopefully I don't hit that plant. Ooh. Now I'm going to attempt my first doorway. Yeah, successfully done. Into my hallway. I should have hoovered up before, there's a bit of dirt down there. Going into my second doorway, which is the kitchen dining room. By the way, this footage is stabilised in Gyroflow, a free program which is brilliant. So now I'm going to yaw around. Notice how tidy my house is, that's all the wife's doing. She's brilliant at tidying. If you're looking for a Robin Hood book, that's what my boy got from the library. He knows me quite well, as there's a drone on there. My name's Robin, obviously. There's a little utility room down there. Now we're going to go back into the hallway. Hopefully I can make it through this door. Now onto the stairs, which I was dead nervous, so I've sped this up in post. I had to step up literally. And now onto the upstairs landing, straight into the bathroom. Hopefully I'll make it through that doorway. As you can see, there's a bit of rubbish down there blowing around in the wind. Oh, I didn't change that toilet roll. Oh, it's really annoying. One of the kids probably. And now back out of the kitchen. Into my boy's room. Wait, what's on the bed? Oh, it's a massive crocodile. He sleeps with that. What's the time? It is 20 to 2. Quarter to 2. Now onto my bedroom. Notice how my wife's side bedside table's got nothing on. And you see my stuff. She always complains about this. I have rubbish everywhere. Batteries, battery chargers, everything. Now into the little ensuite. That's where we shower. Now finally I'm going to go in the spare bedroom. I'm not going to go in the room on the left because that's my daughter's room and she's a teenage girl, so really messy. So I've just got one doorway to do it. Will I go? Oh no, I crashed. Now the battery actually fell out on that, so I had to go upstairs and put the battery back in. The flicker is just from a light bulb. And into the spare bedroom stroke studio. This is where I edit all my videos. On that tiny little desk. And there you go, that is the first flight with the Avata indoors. So here goes, this was actually my first outdoor flight. It's quite windy this day, as you can see the horizon's not level. There's my friend Steve, he was flying the Mini 4 Pro. What a great drone that is, I couldn't believe how quiet it was. So I've taken off in normal mode, seeing what speed we can reach in normal mode, and we got to what, 7 meters a second? Now I'm switching it to sport mode. See how fast we can go. We got to what, 13, nearly 14 meters a second. Flying with the DJI FPV remote controller too. Now here I am switching to manual mode. This is my first manual flight. As you can see, the nose dips right down. So manual mode, the left stick turns into your throttle and not your altitude, which is harder than it seems, and I'm seeing what speed I can get in manual. So what's that, 17 meters a second. Yeah, it's not easy flying manual mode. You think it would be, but I did actually crash, you see later on in the video. So hey, 18 meters a second, 22, 23, 24, 20, 26 meters a second, that is about 58 miles an hour. And this is a bit of a high speed fly past. This is in sports mode. So it's doing around 30 miles an hour, which is slower than the mini drones, but it appears faster because one, you've got a wide angle lens, and two, you fly close to the ground. Here it whizzed past me and Steve. Do a sharp turn. Here I'm going through my first gap. Well, attempting to. I was so nervous. So as soon as I saw it was clear, I sped up. Again in sports mode that was. And again another high speed fly past. Neon. And another high speed down a gravel track. It's quite low to the ground there, it's about 1 meter high. So it raised my altitude a bit. Ooh, a bit wobbly. Another sharp turn. And coming back. The signal did start to drop out here because, well, it wasn't pointing at the drone. You can see me over there. And I'm back in manual doing my first flip. That's one flip, two flip, and then I do a roll. But I was a bit low to the ground and I actually crashed I think I crashed by like 1 centimeter. See, as you can see there, impact detected. And now I'm coming into land. That was a 9-minute flight. That was pushing it pretty hard, so that's why I really got 9 minutes. And here I am flying with the sun. Did you see that red kite there? Trying to attack the drone. This time I was flying with the motion controller. And the red kite's coming back in for the kill, I think. Or just checking us out. And now I'm going to fly through my favourite 2 trees. This was in sports mode, so again around 30 miles an hour, low to the ground. Now this wasn't stabilised in gyroflow, this is using the onboard rock steady, which crops into the image, same as gyroflow. And the image doesn't look that good on this, but again with any camera you need good light. This is a 1/1.7 sensor, but it does crop in, depending on how fast you're turning and stuff. If you're just going in a straight line on this, you're going to use almost the full sensor. Right, so here's the unboxing. So this is what you get in the box. If you want to see what you get in the box, you want to read the side. Yeah, this was, well, like new condition, because DJI refurbished. They're brilliant. It was all sealed and everything. So let's go ahead and open the box. You get your 2 boxes in there. Right, so in the box you get 2 boxes, one with the drone and one with the goggles Integra and the motion controller. The reason why I went for the goggles Integra is 1, they're around 100, 150 cheaper, and 2, they got the battery built in, which I prefer. I never liked the idea of a dangling cord with the battery. So let's go ahead with the unboxing of the Dji Avata. This comes with the drone, flight battery, charging brick, USB cable, spare propellers, screwdriver and manuals. So let's go ahead. As you can see, it's all nicely packaged, all sealed up. So you get your charging cable, which I haven't opened yet. You get your little charging brick, which is really small, it's fantastic. Look at the size of that. So it's got USB-C, charge it by USB-C, and you plug the battery in this proprietary connector here. That's for the actual drone. So this is the size of it. It's like the size of a hand. Now one thing with this drone, it weighs 410 grams, so you're limited to where you fly unless you get your ACOC certificate. In fact, I'll show you that now. So this is the new drone regulations. And as you can see, because this weighs 250 to 500 grams flying weight, no intentional flight over unavoided people, but you need that A2COFC theoretical test. Otherwise you're in the A3 category, which is basically 150 meters away from everything, people, residential, even recreational areas, so you can't even fly this in the park without that certificate. So as for the drone, that's a nice close-up of the drone. It comes with a gimbal protector. So this is only a one-axis gimbal, so basically up and down. Comes with sensors at the bottom. Now the battery is really stiff to get out. I'll show you that now. Although it's stiff, I've crashed a few times. I can't even get it out. And it has come out. It would help if I unplug it first. There's a little plug here. Right, it's unplugged. So you squeeze these little tabs and you pull, and there we go. That's the size of the battery. Now on the DJI website it says 18 minutes hover time, and I've tested that and I got 17.5 minutes, so that is accurate. But for actual flying I'm finding around 10 to 12 minutes, depending on how hard you push the drone. This little block on the top is your GPS, built in. One thing to note about this drone is it's crazy loud, and I'm going to show you how loud it is right now. So this is how loud the Avata is, so I'm going to go ahead and take off. That's the propellers just spinning up normally, and when we take off, and as you can see it's quite loud. Now moving on to the DJI Goggles Integra and the motion controller. We get the Goggles Integra, the motion controller, eyeglass frames, corrective lenses, top headband, USB-C OTG cable, a lanyard and a lens cleaning cloth. So that's what you get in the bottom of the box. So let's go ahead and open this. There you go, it's all nicely packaged. So we get one USB OTG cable, so you can plug your phone in. We get the goggles themselves, which are fantastic in my opinion. 1080p. So the antennas just flip up like this. It comes with, and it's not touchscreen as well like the DJI goggles too. There's a button which I prefer. So there's a button here, a back button, the power buttons on the bottom, along with the USB-C charging port. And this is the battery built into the headband. So all you do to put these on, you clip this together, and then you basically put it on your head and turn it on with the bottom button. Now these have a built-in fan which will kick in a minute, so they stop the misting up and they also cool down the electrical components. Now these are quite a good fit because I'm on the loosest setting, because the knob at the back, actually I can show you that. If you twist it, it tightens up the goggles for smaller heads. And I guess I've got quite a large head because on the maximum opening I can just about get on my head, and it's about right. Also, if you wear glasses like I do, I've got a mild prescription. These little lenses come off and you can put individual lenses in them to suit your eyesight. And also you can, with these buttons down here, you can adjust your pupillary distance. As you can see, I'm moving them and the lenses move, which is great. So if children are using these, they'll probably want them there, but I have them fully open. Now obviously I can't show you what they look like inside, but you can see that they're on, hopefully. It's hard to pick up. But the image quality, I'm looking at them now, is like brilliant. It's like watching a cinema screen in front of your eyes, but a high refresh rate one. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. Battery on these, it's rated at 2 hours, which is plenty in my opinion. And they're pretty quick to charge in a couple of hours. So yeah, that's the goggles. You also get a top head strap for the goggles, which attaches like that, but I tend not to use that. You don't really need to. And then in this little accessories box, you get, so in this little box, this is where all your filters are. If you can see that. So they go from +2, +1, 0 and up to -8, depending on your prescription, and I use -1s in mine. Basically, you just pull these out and attach them to the lenses. It's really easy. One thing to bear in mind, they're plastic, so they will scratch easy. So be careful on how you clean them. We get a couple of instruction manuals. I tend not to read them. You download it online, get the full manual. Now, I'm not sure if you get spare ones of these, but in mine, I had 2 spare lens adapters, which is good. Because if my boy wants to use it, and he's got good vision, he can just plop these ones in there. But I'm not sure if you actually get 4 of those if you buy a brand new one. Now moving on to the motion controller. Now when I first got this, I thought, oh, I'm not going to use this, I'll end up selling it. But it's actually really good. So you've got the trigger to fly the drone forward. And if you want to go to reverse, you can stick your finger in here and push it that way. You've also got a function button, a record button. One good thing with this drone, you can set up to record as you take off on the screens and goggle, which I really like. So then you don't have to worry about stopping, starting recording. A couple of buttons here. This is your takeoff button and return to home. This is your mode switch between normal and sport. Normal will do about 15 miles an hour roughly, and sport will do 30 miles an hour, which is actually slower than the mini series of drones. But on full manual control, which you use the other control, you can get 60 miles an hour, which I've got up to 58 miles an hour. And it's got a power button here. In similar DJI fashion, you push, click and hold to turn it on. So this is actually really easy to fly with, basically. So you push the trigger to go forward, and if you want the drone to go up, you just go like that, and the gimbal will move up and the drone will move up. So if I have the drone here, I push the trigger, it will go forward. If I tilt it down and pull the trigger, it will go down. And again, if you push the trigger upwards, it will fly up. And if you're coming into land, you hold the controller like this, squeeze the trigger, and it will come down and land. And if you want to go straight up, obviously, push up like that, pull the trigger, and the drone will shoot up. I've also bought some spare propellers, even though you get 2 in the package, which I haven't showed you actually, they're in my other bag. But these do break easy. If you have a crash, one of these is likely to get broken. They're £9 for 4, which isn't bad. Next up is the DJI FPV Remote Controller 2. Now this is a great controller, battery life's about 9 hours. You can use it on simulators, which is what I've been doing. I've been practicing on Uncrashed. So let's see what you get in the box. Comes packaged like that. This was brand new. So you do get 4 of the little sticks, 2 spare, which is good. You also get some manuals in there. Now, I like the fact the sticks get stored in the remote, so you can take them out. Screw them in. They've got a tiny little M2 thread, so you've got to be careful with these. So, this control comes with a lanyard, little hole in there. Power on the same way DJI. Click and hold. C1 button, you can do different things with this. I've got mine set, if I push the C1, the drone will beep if you lose the drone. And if you lose your drone and want to bleep, you just push C1 once. And that's what it sounds like, which is quite loud. And if you double click it, it will go into turtle mode, which rolls the drone back over in a crash if you land that way up. So turtle mode, if you got ahead and crashed, you just double click the C1 button, and I will do that now. And the drone flips over on its own, which is good. Now when you buy this, the control sticks come like this, so they return to centre in both. But when you're flying in manual, you need the throttle switch to be fully down and stay down. Now you can adjust this on the back. I won't do it now, but you undo this back panel and you see those little screws in there, F1 and F2. You just tighten them up to one, relieve the spring tension, and the other to increase the resistance. Now how you use this, you fold the antenna up like this. Great signal on this drone. And you've got a couple of buttons. Stop start is if you're flying in manual, you click that twice to start the propellers. This is a record button. This is your gimbal. You can have it in the middle, fully up, fully down. This is your gimbal wheel for more fine control. This is your pause button, or if you click it, you return to home. And these are your mode switches, which are normal, sport, and manual. So that's the controller. Yeah, I like this controller. It's fantastic build quality. And it's recommended to use one of these, a lanyard. I've gone for this one on Amazon called Schwimmick. So basically, you just put this around your neck and clip the little clip onto the remote control. Because when you're flying FPV, if you can imagine you've got the goggles on, if you drop this, well, you're not going to find it, are you? So this stops you dropping it. And finally, we have the Dji Avata fly more kit, which comes with 2 spare batteries. As in normal DJI fashion, if you push the button, you can see how much charge you've got left. Yes, it comes with 2 of them, and this charging block, which you get 65 watt fast charge, and I believe they charge in around an hour. You can see the specs on there. So you can fit 4 batteries, and it's USB-C. So the batteries just plug like this. I can do it. So you just plug that in like that, like so. And you can charge all 4 at once. Well, they don't charge all 4 at once, they go in sequence, so 1, 2, 3, 4, or whichever's the emptiest, I believe. So the specs on this drone, yeah, it will fly for around 12 minutes I've been getting. It's got a 4K 60 camera. You can also record in 2.7K, 1080p. I think you can record up to 100 frames a second. Micro SD port, which is really hard to get into. It's here between the propellers. One thing I've ordered is a battery strap because I've had a few crashes and the battery's ejected, which is well annoying because then you can't do turtle mode or find me bleeper. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be doing a few more flights with the Avata, and I'll see you on the next one.